Hey guys, so today we are going to be discussing about Hurricane Kirk and Hurricane Milton. Now, I'm gonna tell you the warning at the bottom right now. That is part of the text from Hurricane Milton intermediate message. Hurricane Milton is a Category 5 hurricane. Yep, I said it. Category 5. And you wouldn't believe me if I said that, but it actually is. Because it says intermediate, and it's because what? This is hitting straight towards Florida. Well, most likely is. We don't really know yet since it hasn't crossed, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's very likely that it is going to continue rambling towards Florida. Yeah, it has been back upgraded to a Category 5 hurricane at approximately 4:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So it is just now a Category 5, but I believe it was a Category 5 like a few hours ago. I guess it got like downgraded and then just upgraded again, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe it's just did. So Milton is at its peak right now, and it's not even hit Florida. It's literally bringing most likely like winds. So it's kind of posing a danger to Mexico, but it's not in, it's just formed right next to. Remember, we talked about Milton and how it was just going to form. I thought it was going to be like a Category 2 and wasn't going to pose much of a threat. But it had a 90%, so I was kind of concerned over that. But now, it's a Category 5. I did not expect that. I did not expect that to become a Category 5. I mean, I believe like a day ago, I saw it was like a Category 1, so like I have no idea what happened in the middle. But it turned into a Category 5, so it must have upgraded fast. Now you see, I think the reason why it is because, like, I think parts of the hurricane, um, wasn't formed yet, right? It wasn't a full circle until Hurricane Milton. That circle got covered up. Now it's only like an eye in a hurricane. And there's the eye, and then Hurricane Milton is now a Category 5 hurricane. It was a Category 1, I believe, like a day ago, and Milton is at its peak right now. It's not even hit the target area, which Milton's still in the ocean. So, yeah, Milton is very dangerous near the Gulf and Florida. This is going to be a problem for Florida too, because you see, they just had Hurricane Helene that happened, and now they have Hurricane Milton that's going to happen. So, warnings. Storm surge warning has been issued for the Volusia-Brevard County line northward to the mouth of the St. Mary's River, including the St. Johns River. A hurricane warning, the most dangerous one, has been issued for the east coast of Florida from the Indian River St. Lucie County line northward to the Ponte Verde Beach. A tropical storm warning has been issued for the southeast coast of Florida, south of the Indian River St. Lucie County line to Flamingo, and for the northeast coast, not the way I said it for the first time, of Florida, north of Ponte Verde Beach, to the mouth of the St. Mary's River. The government of Mexico has discontinued all watches and warnings south of Celestino. A storm surge warning is in effect for the west coast of Florida from Flamingo northward to the Suwannee River, including Charlotte Harbor and Tampa Bay. I repeat, Tampa Bay, a huge city, populated. Tampa Bay is in a storm surge warning. If I were in Florida at the south part where Milton is going to target, I'd probably evacuate. A hurricane warning is in effect for Celestun to Rio Lagartos, which I'm pretty sure it's no longer in Celestun. Florida west coast from Bonita Beach northward to the mouth of Suwannee River, including Tampa Bay. So, Tampa Bay, again. Florida east coast from the Indian River or St. Louis Sea County line northward to the Ponta Verda Beach. Storm surge watch, now we're moving on to watch his, is in effect for the Sebastian Inlet to the Volusia Brevard County line and mouth of the St. Mary's River to Edisto Beach. A hurricane watch is in effect for Rio Lagartos de Cabo Catucci, the Dry Tortugas. Why are these names so hard to say? Lake Okeechobee, which is a river, not a river, but a lake that is around South Florida. You can see it on the map, usually. Florida west coast from Chokoloskee to the south of Bonita Beach, and a tropical storm warning, which is not a watch, but it's a warning. It's in effect for Rio Lagartos to Cancun, all of the Florida Keys, including the Dry Tortugas and Florida Bay. Said it wrong. Lake Okeechobee, Florida west coast from Flamingo to the south of Bonita Beach, and Florida west coast from north of the mouth of the Suwannee River to Indian Pass. Florida east coast of the Indian River St. Lucie County line to Flamingo, and Florida east coast north of Ponte Verde Beach to the mouth of the St. Mary's River. Tropical storm watch is in effect for the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. So that is in 2 states, Georgia and South Carolina. Those 2 states are kinda needing to watch out, but not in a serious watch out. That doesn't mean act all silly and stuff and go out in the rain and sway in the wind and do a literal dance. Like, don't do that. Like, take it seriously, but I didn't say it's as serious as Florida. This is a tropical storm watch. So, this means you need to be on watch for Milton. So, this means, like, get ready, basically. So, coast of Georgia and South Carolina from north of the mouth of the St. Mary's River. So, a lot of St. Mary's River. To South Santee River, South Carolina. Now, there are the definitions of these ones. Storm surge warning means that there is a danger of lightning inundation from rising water moving inland from the coastline during the next 36 hours in the indicated locations. Remember when Ophelia did that last year to South Carolina? Please see the National Weather. Okay, no, it says for depiction of areas out list. Then it just talks about their storm surge watch warning graphic. And yeah, this is a life-threatening situation. Persons located within these areas or people, I don't know why to say persons, should take all necessary actions to protect life and property from rising water and the potential for other dangerous conditions. Promptly follow evacuation and other instructions from local officials. A hurricane warning means that hurricane conditions are expected somewhere within the warning area. A warning is typically issued 36 hours before the anticipated first occurrence of tropical storm force winds. Conditions that make outside preparations difficult or dangerous. Preparations to protect life and property should be rushed to completion. So preparations need to be acted now if you're in a hurricane warning. A tropical storm warning means that tropical storm conditions are expected somewhere within the warning area within 36 hours. So basically the same. Same, basically. A storm surge watch means that there is a possibility of life-threatening inundation, rising water, moving inland from the coastline, not the inundation, but indicated locations during the next 48 hours. They need to talk about the storm surge watch graphic again. A hurricane watch means that hurricane conditions are possible within the watch area. A watch is typically issued 48 hours before the anticipated first occurrence of tropical storm force winds, which means that area could be upgraded to tropical storm warning or hurricane warning. Conditions that make outside preparations difficult or dangerous. A tropical storm watch means that tropical storm conditions are possible within the watch area, generally within 48 hours. Interest in the remainder of Florida and the northwestern Bahamas, so the Bahamas could be hit too, but not the southern part. Southern part's okay, you might get some gusts though. You might get some clouds. So you should monitor the progress of the system, so you don't be left unprepared with Storm Milton. It turns you. For storm information specific to your area in the United States, including possible inland watches and warnings, please monitor products issued by your local National Weather Service Forecast Office. For storm information specific to your area outside of the United States, please monitor products issued by your National Meteorological Service. At 7 a.m. Central Daylight Time, 8 a.m. Eastern, the center of Hurricane Milton was located near latitude 22.5 north, longitude 88.8 west. Milton is moving toward the east northeast, near 12 miles per hour, 19 kilometers an hour. A turn toward the east northeast and northeast is expected today and Wednesday. Wednesday is when the storm could impact Florida. On the forecast track, the center of Milton is forecast to move just north of the Yucatan Peninsula today and approach the west coast of the Florida Peninsula on Wednesday. The hurricane is forecast to make landfall in Florida Wednesday night. So on Wednesday evening, everybody in Florida definitely needs to be on the lookout. Hurricane Helene was part 1, but Hurricane Milton is going to be 2 times worse, probably. Not 2 times worse, but way worse. No, it's worse. Maximum sustained winds are near 148 miles per hour, with higher gusts. Milton is an extremely dangerous Category 5 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. While fluctuations in intensity are expected, Milton is forecast to remain an extremely dangerous hurricane through landfall in Florida. So this is going to be dangerous. Very much life-threatening. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 30 miles, 45 kilometers from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 105 miles, 165 kilometers. The minimum central pressure based on aircraft drop zone data is 929 millibytes, 27.43 inches. Key messages for Milton. Storm surge. The storm surge will raise water levels by as much as 4 to 6 feet above ground level along the northern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula and areas of onshore winds. Near the coast, the surge will be accompanied by large and destructive waves. The combination of a dangerous storm surge and the tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters, moving in from the shoreline. The water could reach the following heights above ground, somewhere in the indicated areas, if the peak surge occurs at the time of the high tide. Anclote River, Florida to Englewood, Florida, 10 to 15 feet. Tampa Bay, 10 to 15 feet. Englewood, Florida to Bonita Beach, Florida, 6 to 10 feet. Charlotte Harbor, 6 to 10 feet. Yankeetown, Florida to Enchlot River, Florida, 5 to 10 feet. Bonita Beach, Florida to Chokoloskee, Florida, 4 to 7 feet. Suwannee River, Florida to Yankeestown, Florida, 3 to 5 feet. Chokoloskee, Florida to Flamingo to Florida, 3 to 5 feet. And Volusia, Brevard County line, Florida to Almatha, South Georgia, So part of Georgia's in this. 3 to 5 feet. The deepest water will occur along the immediate coast near and to the south of the landfall location, where the surge will be accompanied by large and dangerous waves. Surge-related flooding depends on the relative timing of the surge and the tidal cycle. It can vary greatly over short distances. For information specific to your area, please see products issued by your local National Weather Service forecast office. Then they talk about the graphic site for a complete depiction, which is not really necessary for the stream right now. Since we're reading this, their advisory for Milton by National Hurricane Center. Milton rainfall. Rainfall amounts of 5 to 12 inches with localized totals up to 18 inches, which is basically 2 feet. No, not 2 feet, but 1 foot and 6 inches. So that's 1 foot and a half for 18 inches. And this can also be rainfall amounts of 5 inches to 1 foot, basically. So in between 5 inches to 1 foot. Are expected across central to northern portions of the Florida Peninsula through Thursday. This rainfall brings the risk of life-threatening flash, urban and aerial flooding, along with moderate to major flooding. Milton will also produce rainfall totals 2 to 4 inches across Florida Keys through Thursday. So that's going to be after the worst happens, but still kind of be there. So it's going to be 2 to 4 inches. So that's still kind of dangerous. That could probably knock down a toddler and would probably drown a plastic cup. In addition, rainfall amounts to 2 to 4 inches, with isolated totals around 6 inches are expected across northern portions of the Yucatan Peninsula. Wind. Hurricane conditions will continue in the warning area in Mexico today. Hurricane conditions are possible in the watch areas in Mexico today, and tropical storm conditions are expected to continue in tropical storm warning area today. Hurricane conditions are expected in the warning area on the west coast of Florida as early as Wednesday afternoon, with tropical storm conditions beginning early Wednesday. Hurricane conditions are expected along the east coast of Florida in the warning areas on Wednesday night, with tropical storm conditions possible beginning late Wednesday afternoon. Tropical storm conditions are expected in late Wednesday afternoon. Tropical storm conditions are expected in the tropical storm warning areas in Florida. I didn't mean tropical storm conditions in late Wednesday afternoon, but tropical storm conditions are expected in the tropical storm warning areas in Florida beginning early Wednesday and will spread northward through the day. Tropical storm conditions are possible within the watch area on the east coast of Florida by Wednesday night and along the Georgia and South Carolina coasts on Thursday. Tornadoes. A few tornadoes are possible over central and southern Florida beginning late tonight and continuing through Wednesday night. So guys, beware tonight. Some tornadoes could happen. So we could have some severe weather. And we haven't had a severe weather stream for the first time in forever. Since there's barely been any by now. Surf. Swells generated by Milton are expected to continue to affect much of the Gulf Coast within the next day or two, and are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions. So do not go on the beach due to surf and almost everything on here. Next advisory will be at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time, which already happened. Whew. What? Hang on. Oh, okay. I speak English, so I don't really know what you're saying. Hang on, let me kind of like try to translate it so I can understand what you're saying. All right. Okay. I don't really understand Spanish, so I don't know what you're saying. We got Flood Watch for Coastal Charlotte, Coastal Citrus, Coastal Hermondo, Coastal Hillsborough, Coastal Lee, Coastal Levy, Coastal Manatee, Coastal Pasco, Coastal Sarasota, DeSoto, Hardy, Highlands, Inland Charlotte, Inland Citrus, Inland Hernando, Inland Hillsborough, Inland Lee, Inland Levy, Inland Manatee, Inland Pasco, Inland Sarasota, Pinellas, Polk, and Sumter, Florida, until the 10th on 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Storm surge warning for mainland Monroe, Florida. Tropical storm warning for Hendry, Florida. And also a tropical storm warning for Metro Palm Beach County, Florida. Metropolitan Miami-Dade, Florida. Inland Miami-Dade County, Florida. Metro Broward County, Florida. Coastal Miami-Dade County, Florida. Inland Palm Beach County, Florida. Far South Miami-Dade County, Florida. Glades, Florida. Coastal Collier County, Florida. Inland Broward County, Florida. And Coastal Broward County, Florida. Inland Collier County, Florida. Yeah. So that's gonna continue until further notice. So it doesn't really end until authorities say it on the tropical storm warnings for National Weather Service Miami issued areas. High surf advisory for coastal Duval, coastal Flagler, coastal Nassau, coastal St. John's, Florida, and coastal Camden and coastal Glen, Florida. No, not Florida, like Georgia. But they will cancel a rip current statement for coastal Duval, Flagler, Nassau, and St. John's, Florida, and coastal Camden and Glen, Florida. They continue tropical storm warning for Gilchrist, Eastern Clay, and Bradford, Florida, until further notice. A tropical storm watch for Eastern Hamilton, Florida, until further notice. Storm surge warning for coastal Camden, Georgia, until further notice. And tropical storm watch for coastal Camden, Georgia, until further notice. Tropical storm warning for the Monroe Lower Keys, Monroe Middle Keys, Monroe Upper Keys, until further notice. New warnings. We have 2 new warnings that have just happened. And there is these dangerous warnings right now that are affecting Key West, Florida. That are affecting southern Florida. So this is for dry tortugas in the Rebecca Shoal Channel and Gulf waters from East Cape Sable to Chukolski, 20 to 60 nautical miles out and beyond 5 fathoms, till 5:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:06 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a cluster of storms capable of producing strong waterspouts were located between not 15 but 13 nautical miles northwest of of Tortugas Ecological Reserve south to 9 nautical miles northeast of Tortugas Ecological Reserve north, moving north at 40 knots. Water spouts and wind gusts 34 knots or greater. Radar source indicated, no, not indicated, but impact. Water spouts can quickly form in capsized boats, cause considerable damage to vessels, and create suddenly higher waves. Expect wind gusts in excess of 34 knots, suddenly higher waves, freaking lightning, and heavy downpours. The Tortugas Ecological Reserve North is in this warning. Prepare for wind gusts in excess of 34 knots, steep and fast building seas, and blinding downpours. Make sure all on board are wearing life jackets for the people in the warning area. Water swells can easily overturn boats and create locally hazardous seas. Seek safe harbor immediately. This could also have some storm surge. Just beware of that. Also, a special marine warning for issued by the Key West Gulf of Mexico, including the dry Tortugas and Rebecca Shoal Channel, and Gulf waters from East Cape Sable to Chukolski, 20 to 60 nautical miles, out and beyond 5 fathoms, till 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a possible strong waterspout was located near 5 Tower, moving north at 15 knots. Radar indicated. Impact. Waterspouts can quickly form in capsized boats, cause considerable damage to vessels, and create suddenly higher waves. Expect wind gusts in excess of 34 knots. Suddenly higher waves, frequent lightning, and heavy downpours. This possible strong waterspout will remain over mainly open waters, so that's kind of important detail. Prepare for wind gusts in excess of 34 knots, steep and fast building seas, frequent lightning, and blinding downpours. Stay low or go below, and make sure all on board are wearing life jackets. Waterspouts can easily overturn boats and create locally hazardous seas. So if people are in those boats that get overturned, guess what can happen? Those people can drown. Seek safe harbor immediately. Waterspout possible, no hail, but wind is 34 knots and less. No, 34 knots and greater. So this is a bundle of rain showers that could be heading towards the Key West. This could be heading towards areas near South Florida, but not necessarily in the Key West, like the Duck Rock Cove in Florida. And some rain showers could affect Miami and Fort Lauderdale, but it won't be very effective and won't be life-threatening on that. Life-threatening part ain't really here yet. It is a Category 5. It is not a Category 6, I know that. Okay. Most dangerous tornadoes. Most pretty tornadoes. It is not going to be affecting the Philippines. Okay. Okay, let's check for more advisories to see if there is any. They have a new consecutive outlook for the United States. There is a marginal risk for southern Florida, including Miami, Florida, Hialeah, Florida, Lauderdale, Florida, Pembroke Pines, Florida, Hollywood, Florida. Um, not the not the place, the city. Probabilistic tornado graphic shows that Miami, Hialeah, Fort Lauderdale, Pembroke Pines, and Hollywood, Florida, not the place, the city, again, are in the 2% tornado risk. Doesn't mean there is going to be a tornado, but there's a chance this evening. It's not evening yet, it's still kind of the afternoon. And a 5% wind risk for Miami, Hialeah, Fort Lauderdale, Pembroke Pines, and Hollywood, Florida, for a 5% wind risk. So therefore, there's going to be a categorical graph. The categorical graphic shows that there is a marginal risk of severe weather today, and a level 1 out of 5. High is the highest. Enhanced and slight are in the middle, and marginal is the lowest. Or general thunderstorm. Which there is a general thunderstorm risk, but it's not really that dangerous. For Nevada, not Colorado, but Wyoming, Utah, and Nevada, but that doesn't mean it's going to be severe weather there. That just means you're probably either going to be rain showers or just no rain at all. It's just basically, it doesn't really mean that there is going to be any. New York as part of the general thunderstorm risk. And there's no large hail graphic, so yeah. Hurricane Milton will move into the southeastern part of the Gulf of Mexico late tonight until early Wednesday. So early Wednesday could be this morning, so it's going to move across the coast. It's going to move closer to Florida, but not in Florida. Still kind of in the southwest coast. Or southeast, I don't know which one it is. Where that is. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is not in the zone, by the way. It's not in the zone of Hurricane Milton. Puerto Rico is safe from it. Alright. Tropical cyclone update. It's about Milton. Aircraft measures very low pressure in the IM Milton. Recent observations from Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicate the central pressure in the IM Milton has fallen. So the central pressure has fallen. So it is kind of weakening in pressure though, to an estimated 905 millibytes. Well, not millibytes, but MB, whatever that would be. Obviously not millibytes. That's used for data. 26.72 inches. The aircraft observations also indicate that the maximum sustained winds are near 165 miles per hour. So the location of Hurricane Milton is 22.7 north and 87.4 west, about 315 miles, 510 kilometers west southwest of the Dry Tortugas, and about 475 miles, 770 kilometers southwest of Tampa Bay in Florida, or just Tampa. Maximum sustained winds are 165 miles per hour or 270 kilometers an hour. Present movement east-northeast or 75 degrees at 9 miles per hour, 15 kilometers an hour. Minimum central pressure 905 millibards at 26.72 inches. That was the latest. There is no category 6. There is a category 5. Wait, is there a category 6? I don't think so. I don't think there is. But I'm just gonna check. No. 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 It's not. No, wait, is it? Hang on, I need to fix the search. According to KGW, it says that there is no such thing as a Category 6 hurricane. So they say no. But really, it's catastrophic. Florida is in the zone of the hurricane. Yes, it is. Not Kirk, but Milton's in the path of it. Okay. Still trying to find stuff about Kirk. National Hurricane Center. So Hurricane Kirk is currently still pretty much targeting areas, but so right now, Hurricane Kirk. Right now on Tuesday, it was set at 2 a.m. Tuesday. So According to USA Today, this new path of Hurricane Kirk on Tuesday is gonna be about like yeah. It's not gonna hit landfall yet. But on Wednesday, as it's still a post-tropical cyclone, it's gonna head near Europe. And as it gets near, at around 2 a.m. Thursday, as the remnants of Hurricane Kirk arrive into Europe, it's gonna hit France and maybe the UK. So this could be a threat for Europe, but the storm could quickly dissipate into absolutely nothing instead of just rain. So Kirk is really just not a hurricane anymore. Yeah, it's not a hurricane anymore. It's a post-tropical cyclone. 1 million people in Florida are under evacuation orders. So Europe is a target for Hurricane Kirk or post-tropical cyclone Kirk. Okay. $206 miles per hour. Pretty sure could have like that. Hurricane Milton. Okay. The Marine Warning for the Key West has said that it has just canceled the Gulf of Mexico, including dry tortugas and the Rebecca Shoal Channel in GM, but continues for the Gulf waters from East Cape Sable to Chokolski, 20 to 60 nautical miles out and beyond 5 fathoms GM until 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay. Just got a new special Marine Warning. Hang on, I'm waiting for the warning to arrive out. Storm Prediction Center has it. It's just that Tornado HQ ain't showing it. Okay, maybe it's just on Sport. No, not Sport. Maybe. Oh, there it is. There it is.
New special Marine warning.
Special Marine warning. Alright, at 5:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a cluster of storms capable of producing strong water spots were located between 14 nautical miles west of Tortugas Ecological Reserve, north to 8 nautical miles west of West Tower, maybe north at 15 knots. What was that? I swear I just heard a noise. Okay. Test, test, test. I barely hear my volume. I barely see it. Hey, I'm live streaming. Okay. So a cluster of storms capable of producing strong waterspouts were located between 14 nautical miles west of Tortugas Ecological Reserve, north to 8 nautical miles west of West Tower, moving north at 15 knots. Waterspouts and wind gusts in excess of 50 knots. Source radar impact waterspouts can quickly form in capsize boats, cause considerable damage to vessels, and create suddenly higher waves. Expect wind gusts in excess of 50 knots and suddenly higher waves. Boats could sustain significant damage or capsize. The possible strong waterspout will remain over mainly open waters. Prepare for wind gusts in excess of 40, no, not 40, but 34 knots. Sorry. Steep and fast building seas and blinding downpours. Make sure all on board are wearing life jackets. Waterspouts can easily overturn boats and create locally hazardous seas. Seek safe harbor immediately if you were on a boat in a special marine warning. Waterspout possible, so it's not on the ground. A waterspout, which is basically a water tornado, that's very thin. It's smaller than a French fry, but it's like a tornado, but it's thinner than a French fry, but not literally a French fry. Well, no, well, basically it's a French fry. It's basically the size of a French fry, like 2 times, and it's like a tornado size of a French fry. It goes the height of a tornado. Waterspouts can easily overturn boats and create locally hazardous seas. Seek safe harbor immediately. This warning ends at 45 minutes. Alright. So, yeah. That's basically all that's really gonna happen. So, summing this up, Hurricane Milton, very dangerous. Trying to head towards Florida. And it's gonna stay in Category 5 before it hits Florida. Well, it's gonna stay catastrophic. Hurricane Kirk, no longer a hurricane, a post-tropical cyclone, which will no longer even be part of a hurricane or a post-tropical cyclone once it nears land in Europe, as Kirk will become a remnant storm as it hits the countries of France and the UK, and Georgia and Florida need to prepare for storms. Hurricane Kirk, downfall of Hurricane Kirk, and Hurricane Milton at peak. Hurricane Milton causing some special marine warnings, even though it's not even in Florida. So yeah, that's basically to sum it up. So yeah. See if I can look at any last detail. Okay. Let me just wait for the timer to get 50 minutes. Like, at the top. For my screen, it says like 50 minutes. It's gonna say. Alright, yeah. So that's gonna sum it up. So maybe a live stream tomorrow. I don't really know. Unless like I'm too busy doing something or something like that. So yep. So hope y'all have an amazing day and see you next live stream. If anybody is gonna see me next live stream.